usually the worst case scenarios or just crazy stuff, which you then end up creating. If you can get yourself to go, okay, really all that exists is this moment. And although somebody may say to me, if you don't pay this bill by tomorrow, whatever the case may be, I buy that. If I go ahead and go, you know what, sell that to me. I think I'm going to buy that. I'm going to agree with you on that. It's all going to play out in that manner. I've tested this over and over again. If I do nothing in terms of my emotion, in terms of lending my emotion to it according to how it was handed to me, I can get another outcome. I see it all the time. I can get a whole different outcome, one that is probably going to be more to my liking or more in resonance with what I would want, as opposed to purchasing what the option that somebody gave to me, because that's really what it is. Again, it's all energy, and you are the observer. It's the Schrodinger's cat concept. It's the same concept. I don't know what's in that box. I mean, you told me there's a cat in there or whatever, but I don't know that until I open it, and I expect to see that, so I'm gonna see that.
It's all about anticipation and what you come in with, so to speak, what you bring with yourself when you're trying to, and also at the same time, then I'm thinking it's very difficult to have an objective outlook on reality in a sense, because it's always going to be subjective to some degree, I think, because we're always doing the interpretation ourselves. And the question is, if in a holographic manner, in a holographic model, the question is if such a thing as objectivity actually even exists, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, I think that the way if we can go back into processing reality, I'll use the word processing reality, not based on our automated selves, our physical bodies, because that's really what we've been using. And remember now, the physical aspect of us is operating more so off of stored information. So every conclusion you come to is usually drawn off of a stored experience. Being able to step away from that really allows things to unfold, and you actually, it's not you, and when I say you, the physical you, but the aspect of yourself that really does see the bigger picture. You're basically letting go, and that's what I do. I let go, and I basically trust the fact that I, the greater aspect of myself, has my best interest at heart. And however this outcome is processed, I'm not judging it one way or another, but however this outcome is processed, I'm going to trust that. And I think that's the tricky part about it, is being able to trust that you, on a greater level, have your best interest at heart, and that everything that unfolds is not necessarily what we call good or bad. And a lot of times things unfold in a way where it looks like it's to your demise, but it really isn't. It's something else that unfolds from that. Somebody you meet, somebody you need to connect with, whatever the case may be. So if we can get into that space where we surrender and not use the automated self to figure out and to process how things will unfold, I think that really, I know it takes the pressure off, but it's like walking a tightrope, because we're used to being, the automated self is used to being in control. That's the job. The body's job is to keep the organism alive, to survive. And that's all it knows is survival. But we bought into that, and so all we know is survival. And so we just want to be in control and fix it. But we, on this level, cannot see the bigger picture. Our vision is just much too minute. So that's why it's necessary to hand things back over to the larger aspect of you that initiated this whole trip, this vacation. This vacation to hell in the first place.
Right. Ooh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's all about the outlook in a way, then, isn't it? In that regard, how do you choose to have the experience, and what outlook do you put on it? Is it? I mean, again, for some people, it can be hell because that's all they probably need to experience then, and for some it might be heaven,
Absolutely.
because they want to be there and that's their choice,
That's
and all is
true.
fine in a way. So it's
Yeah.
it
And that, yeah.
and then it
Go
goes
ahead.
back to my kind of original thought there a little bit, that such a thing as objective reality almost does not exist because it depends on your outlook on life, meaning your
Mhm.
subjectivity. So if you put the connotation of positive outlook, that probably is what you're gonna attract, and the other way
Mhm.
around. Obviously, there's more components at play here, as we talked about before. There's
Right, right,
karmic
right.
stuff going on. There's other things,
Oh,
meaning that
yeah.
events can come up in your life which might not
Mhm.
at all be seen at, like, oh, this is heaven, and all of a sudden, bam, you're hit with
Right,
something
right.
that is a tragic accident, a death in the family, whatever, can come up here, right? So
Right,
it's
right.
it's all about also just taking the experience for what it is, meaning that you shouldn't be
Right.
drawn down by it because it's something negative
Mhm.
happens to you. It's about taking it in the right way, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's about being able to really hold that, be able to harness that, and to see that. Yeah, no, it's not necessarily. It's not a good or a bad thing,
Yes.
but it's somehow part of a process. And what's interesting too is that we set the ball in motion, and everything I'm saying is things that I've seen, I've tested, I've looked at it for myself, I've examined things that I may have said. It could be a year ago or 2 years ago, something that I wanted to have happen. But what I didn't bank on was the process by which it would happen. The many things that had to change in my life for this particular thing to come about. And that's what we're not prepared for, because all we see is, oh, we want that to happen. But what if it can't happen because the person you need to meet, you can't meet until you move from this place and maybe, stop hanging out with these people, or maybe leave this job. I mean, there's all of these things, and that's the reason why it's so hard for you to try to figure out how something is going to happen. But just go ahead, and you know that you initiated a desire. But when you initiate a desire, just know you just have to let it go, because you have
Yeah,
no idea what the process is going to be
that's right.
to bring it to fruition. By the time it shows up, you didn't even remember you ordered it.
Yeah. That's a very good
See?
point. And I think that's a key point that you bring up as well, in regards to that. People too many times, they focus on how something is going to be solved, but they never take into account that a friend might come and help you out at a specific time, which might open up your life to no whole new a possibility in your life, and you never even thought about it that way because you have hammered out the road to your goal, so to speak, beforehand, and hence that is going to actually um, keep you from actually reaching the goal.
Mhm.
There's hundreds of paths, right, to the one goal, but
Right.
if you've already
Oh, yeah.
if only is focused on the one path, then you're not going to see or discover as all the other roads kind of pop up along that way,
Mhm.
Absolutely. But hey, Sonia, I want to talk a little bit about here in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so that we have left here, a little bit about this idea about the occult roots of the quest of eternal life. I've always felt in some way that when the Nazis were doing their excursions to Tibet with the SS, Heinrich Himmler, under the orders of Hitler and so forth, that they actually did discover something there, and that they actually after that point brought the knowledge either to the Russians and or the Americans through the different paperclips programs or what have you that they were doing there, and in some fashion, in some way, the technologies or the scientific advancements that are being made is in some way connected to what they potentially discovered back there. I don't know what you have been studying or researching in regards to the occult roots of the quest for the eternal life, but is that something that you've been that have been coming up when you've been looking into this as well, or do you have a different take on it or different interpretation on all that?
No, I do agree with you in terms of that, whatever it is they dug up some information, some stuff on that. And I mean, I feel that, you know, those are the things that are being worked on scientifically. Whatever that bit of information is, that study goes on. That is the original, I wouldn't say original, but from that particular aspect that we're talking about, the Hitler period, and before that, the Madame Blavatsky period, and before that, is the quest for the master race. And I think that's what we really have to look at, because the master race, did we talk about it the last time? I don't remember.
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is what we're dealing with in this game. That quest for the master race, that's what Hitler was looking for. That's what many others were looking for. And what does that master race mean? That master race means a superhuman race. Superhuman would mean what? Superhuman abilities, which is what we're talking about with this immortality thing. That is the biggest treasure. That's why I keep bringing this up. That is the biggest treasure. That is what the race is on for. When I keep saying the keys to creation, this is what many of these groups have been after. These secret societies, protecting documents, protecting information, protecting it for only a select few. What else could there be but the fact that they are studying a deep level of science and how to regulate matter? It's just very, very clear. It doesn't even, you don't even have to do research. You just think hard enough and you see all these experiments on people, all these things that, that they were doing, even in minimizing the population. Yeah. At this time, getting rid of some people, just leaving enough people for the workforces, because, those people are what do they say? What's his name? Call it useless eaters. Right. So, in trying to create the master race, which of course we are again connecting with the new age and the new world order, which those on a deeper level, because even those that are in the new world order, they don't even get it. We're talking those that really run the show, those few, that handful of entities, they are focused on the prize. The prize is how to manipulate matter. That's the prize, people. However you want to take it, that's the prize. What else do they need to go after? What is the ultimate? Why do they think they've had all these movies and all these things that have been written about with trying to find immortality, the Dracula film? It's the ultimate. They can make a robot. They can do this. They can do all of these other things. But the ultimate would be to either to create a human being or to be, and if they can create a human being, they can certainly discover how to make the body live forever. The difference here is they are trying to get the body to live forever in a sense of how it did, at one time. There were those, believe the Anunnakis, they were able to live for, 80,000, 100,000. They were able to live for thousands and thousands of years, but there was still something missing. It's that missing piece in there, that missing piece, which is your ability at that point to supersede all of those things, If you can transition your body into taking form or taking on a vibration of any particular reality, that's huge. That's huge, because you can be anywhere in any pocket of time, because there really is no time. That's the thing. There really is no time. So if you can bypass the programming in your DNA and in your mind, the concept of time, then here and there is all the same thing. It's just perception and concepts which you